Hello everyone, welcome to today's meeting. Today is Friday the 8th of December 2015, and today we're going to be looking at a beer which is a bit different, and I want to ask all of you people what you think about it and what you could do to make things different. So I just want to start off the meeting by basically saying to you that a new drink, a beer, has been created, something which is completely different, something which has not been seen before. So I want to ask the panel, which is yourselves, what do you feel, what do you think about this new drink? Now, let me show you what it is exactly. So, here we have the new drink. It contains a lot of different fruits. It's something which has never been created before, something completely different, something out of the ordinary, something which I'm sure will attract customers once we bring it out into the customer base and our shops. Once we start selling this product, I'm very, very convinced that we will be able to push sales as much as possible. So I'm going to call this beer, I propose that we call it the Big Fruity One, because it contains up to 10 fruits when the beer is produced. It contains 10 different fruit purees. It's absolutely fantastic. It smells amazing. So I'm going to pass you guys this, and you can give it a smell. It smells fantastic. There we are. What do you think of that? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. The intensity of the smell is really, really a lot, and you can really smell it from a distance as well. Very fruity, very punchy. Yeah, precisely. That's a good point. Let me write that one down. So, we have to obviously make sure that the type of fruit that we produce, well, the ones that we add to the beer, are carefully considered when adding it to the beer itself, since we need to appeal to the masses, basically. And as you said in your point, we need to make sure that the fruits that are being added to the beer, as in the puree, are considered, and they need to be fruit that actually is liked and is enjoyed. So let me write that one down. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, good point. Thank you. Thanks for bringing that one up. I appreciate that. So yeah, the smell is very nice. I'm going to be giving all of you a sample of this and a taste, but when you taste this, it's really nice. It's fantastic. It's something which you've never ever tasted before in a beer. Never. It's just so fruity, and it actually reminds me of wine. The colour as well. So you can tell the colour is quite clear. It's red in colour, but it contains things such as blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, lots of different fruits. But the colour itself is red, which is a nice colour, you know. It's a kind of wine colour, a rosé, I would say. But yes, because it's clear as well. It's fantastic that we've managed to produce this as a company. To the actual colour and the opacity, so you can actually see through it, which is something which we thought we would never be able to achieve, but there we go. We've managed to do it. We've managed to achieve that, so that's great. And also, we've managed to remain with our prices at a competitive level. So our competitors that are selling the drinks which are similar, we are going to make a competitive price to make sure that we are obviously competitive to the market, but also to make sure that we earn profits from it. So I'm going to be charging, I'm going to be charging for this product around £4 a can, so it's a large can, and I think that will drive sales. £4 a can will be relatively a lot of money for a customer to pay. However, there are a lot of different beers available in the market at the moment that are charging more. That includes £6, £7, lots of different prices, particularly ones near £10. We're seeing beers that are being sold for about £10. So does any of you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask at all? When is the beer going to be officially released to the public? Okay, we're going to think about it. So I reckon it's going to be about 2 weeks' time. So we need to really make sure the ingredients and the way it's brewed and produced is absolutely perfect before we start releasing it. But I'd say the next 2 weeks' time. That gives us time to really hone the flavour and the smell and the aromas to make sure that everything is just perfect before we release it. So yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? The flavour and to the customer needs to be perfect before it's released, but we also need to make sure that we are hitting that kind of likeness by the majority of customers that purchase it. We want every customer to like a product, so we need to make sure that the flavour, the way it's made, is perfect, and cost is not really an option when it comes to beverages or food or anything along those lines. We are trying to focus on customers liking our product, therefore they may be interested in the future to purchase the item again. Yeah, precisely. Yeah. Does anyone have any further questions at all about this beverage? Or just let me pass this to you all so that you can see, and you can just give it a smell and see what you think. Let me pass it over now. So, okay, right, so that question is really good, to be honest. It's a good one, and I'm glad you asked that. So, the size is for 40ml cans, so this is the larger size of the beers that we produce. And your question is, will there be any movement in the sizing of the beers? So yes, we produce smaller ones such as the 330ml can, and we also produce the 500ml bottles as well. So we believe as a company that we are really focusing on green environmental issues, and we're trying to combat those issues. We realise that as a company we are trying to basically make an impact on our savings for the environment to make sure that we are not producing too much emissions in our production line. Okay, so recyclable. If it's any other material, then it would be difficult to recycle. But potentially, if we served it in bottles, which is the big bottles, I'm not really too sure if we would get much sale from that, simply because the bottles aren't really popular in our market. There's a lot more customers that are purchasing the cans as opposed to the bottles, and we're seeing that in the market data. So we think it is best that we produce the cans, the large cans, so the customers are able to get that experience with the larger quantity of the beverage, as opposed to the smaller cans, which allows the customer to have a quick drink, and that's about it. But the larger cans allow the customer to really have a much longer experience because of the size of those cans. Yeah, I hope that makes sense anyway. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's great. Thanks for asking that as well. Really useful stuff. Okay, so does anyone have any further questions at all? So yeah, I think, as I mentioned before, the name of the beverage is going to be the fruity one. It's quite a simple name, but we feel that it's something which really encompasses what it's about, what the beverage contains. So essentially, yeah, that's a good point as well. So would there be any chance of any further beverages that would come through the market? So okay, so soon we are going to be releasing other beverages, other beers, wines, spirits, all that kind of stuff. But at the moment, I feel that we are really hitting a point where we're producing the same kind of beers, and we need to change something in the marketing strategy so that we can definitely make some more profit. Of course, profit is very important for us as a company, but at the same time, we need to make things a bit interesting, a bit different. So that's why I propose to you as a company that this beverage is produced, and we will produce it as a micro batch. So essentially, a micro batch that we produce will be a small quantity. However, if sales go up particularly higher than expected, then we will consider the beverage to actually be produced for a longer period, a longer term than we actually initially propose. So, for example, if we produce this beer for, say, 1 or 2 months, if the customers really like it, really enjoy it, we will consider making this beverage for a lot longer than we originally kind of proposed. So that's a very good point. I'm actually thinking of the exact time frame, to be honest. Let me write that one down. Yeah. So maybe if it was, say, 2 months' time, potentially we could roll out to, say, 4 or 5 months' time down the line. Yes. That's a good point. Because we also need to take into account that the longer we produce this beverage, the more chance we potentially could lose profit, because if customers start to get bored of this product and they would like something different, we obviously need to change our marketing strategy again, so that we can kind of combat the demand of the product and what the customer wants as a business. this new beverage, the fruity one. Yeah, let me just write that one down as well. Yeah. Strategy to ensure that we have something in place. Otherwise, we will be in a position where we may not be able to make much profit. We may lose profit. Once we're becoming the losses, is going to be very hard for our business to really get back up to speed. So I really suggest that we think about another product. So does anyone here have any suggestions on a product which they would like to see, or that they would like to perhaps get produced? Yes, definitely. I agree entirely. So I think a beverage with chocolate in, actually produced with chocolate, I think is a really good idea. And thank you for bringing that one up. That's really good. I think that again is a product which may not be as popular as our main line of beers, wines and spirits. We need to make sure that if we produce a beverage that contains chocolate, we are hitting those customers that obviously really enjoy the chocolate, but there will be some that will not like it, because at the end of the day they will be expecting a certain taste and flavour, and if it's not what they expect, then it's something which will be hard to get them to enjoy. Definitely, of course, yes. So we need to make sure that the marketing strategy is important. We need to make sure that our products they really appeal to the masses, as to say the least, really, because we are trying to make sure that the majority of our customers enjoy our products. If not all of them, we need to make sure that every single customer that shops with us is going to enjoy our products. We have 100% guarantee that we are trying to aim for. Of course, we completely understand that 100% guarantee may not be available, because at the end of the day everyone has different tastes, and yes, of course. So maybe we need to really think about exactly what would be the absolute favourite beverages that our customers would enjoy. Perhaps we need to make something such as a survey. So we send paper flyers, we send them on Facebook, wherever. Social media sites are very useful nowadays. We could send a survey on our own website page, on our own Facebook page, or wherever, Instagram, and we can try to get an idea of what people prefer of our products, and then we can make a decision based on that, on what the best products are, what the favourites are, basically, and what we would try to move towards afterwards. Yes, precisely that. So making sure that our products are in line with what the customer prefers the most. So if 90% of customers prefer India Pale Ale, which we produce anyway as standard, then we are going to make another India Pale Ale. Yes. IPAs are very, very common, and they're a very liked beer. So it's the same with our wines. So our red wine is very popular, so is our white, so is our rosé. So yes, we definitely need to make sure of that, yes, that the popularity is considered. Okay, yeah. So that just about wraps up today's session, and thank you for attending. Again, this beverage is something which is a bit different, and I really think that a lot of customers will like it. It's incredibly fruity, it's incredibly sweet, and I do think that we will be able to be successful as a business through this product. We will of course make sure that we monitor our profits and indeed our losses to make sure that we are on target. If this product is not really popular, then we know that we need to change our strategy. Thank you again for the meeting, and I will see you very soon.